Hello guys, Messenger of Death here, and it's time to do a new review for the game now it's in full release. And I wish it were good news, but unfortunately, it's not. If you saw my last review of this game, you saw I was very bright and positive about the game. I didn't really have anything bad to say about the game at all, other than the fact of the EVP system. I was in a very good and happy place with the game. The game was great. I recommend it to people because the game was fantastic. Sure, there was a little bit of pay to win in there as well, but it wasn't anything crazy unless you really wanted to get into PvP. And even if you could get there without ever needing to spend any money. It'd just take you longer. Now, however, things have changed, and I wish it were good news. But why is that? Stay tuned. Okay. So I'm going to start off the video with the good points of the game, before getting to the negative here. Digimon Super Rumble is a very nice looking game. It's not the prettiest game in the world. I've got my game on reduced graphics, by the way. But the game is actually pretty nice. It has many nods to the Digimon Adventure anime, which is what it actually follows. You basically go through the Digimon Adventure anime. You are the main protagonist, and you'll go through with your Digimon that you will hatch, raise, take care of, and you will go around throughout the digital world. As you can see, this is a nod to the Yokomon that Biyomon encountered when in the Gear Savannah. There's a giant ship that Merimon dried up all the water of, and caused it to basically become a giant ditch. And if we come over here, we can actually fight Merimon. And if you have a Biyomon in your party, you can guarantee it turning into Birdramon by fighting this very same Merimon, like it did in the anime. I have a guide on all the Digimon and their Digivolutions and where to go on this game, just for reference, if you wish to check that out. But each location, as you go through the game, does follow the main story. The only difference is you'll start off at the town of Beginnings, where all the Digibaby are hatched. You'll start off here in the village of Beginnings, which is where all baby Digimon basically come from, where you have your boy Elecmon, who is around over there by those egg baskets. You got Piximon, nods to the Digimon Adventure anime, of course, right? You'll speak to a guy named Angemon, you know, the Digimon Angemon. And he will basically lure you over here, and you will get your starter after answering a series of questions. I actually have a guide on what the answers to the questions are for each starter, if you do choose to pick up the game. My starter was Agumon, and I guaranteed his Digivolution by fighting Shellmon on the beach. By following Angemon's questline, you'll eventually be brought to this location, which is Dragon Eye Lake. Just like the original Digidestined originally were. They were in Dragon Eye Lake and they encountered many things, such as these Shellmon here. Through fighting these Shellmon, I was able to digivolve my Agumon into Greymon. Again, I have a video on this. And fighting the Shellmon with my Agumon turned it into Greymon. But if I was to go over here, for example, there is also a nod to Gabumon. And just like the whole Merimon situation, you can encounter Seadramon. And through fighting Seadramon with an Gabumon in your party, you can basically turn your Gabumon into a Garurumon guaranteed. And it's a very nice nod to the anime. You do follow the anime story, and it is very nice. Unfortunately, the game is only in Korean. That is the downside. But I do have many English guides which will help you if you do choose to pick up the game. And you can easily get through it using a translator if you want to put in the extra time of constantly translating all the text, such as Yandex or Google Translate or something along those lines. But generally, you're going to be following the Digimon Adventure. You'll start off in Dragon Eye Lake, after you started in the Village of Beginning, of course. You'll then go to the Village of Beginnings, and then you'll go to the Gear Savannah. Then eventually you'll get to Infinite Mountain, where Devimon is, so on and so forth. And you will follow the story, essentially. When it comes to most Digimon games, you never follow the main Digimon antagonist of Digimon Adventure. And that's what I love about this game. It is an MMO, and there are many other players running around. You can run into, see them running around with all their Digimon. You can party up with players and invite them into a group and play with them. Now, the way the party system works in this game is, you would basically have one person, it depends on your party size really. If you had 3 people, each of you would have one partner each. If you had 2 people, the leader would have 2 of their Digimon, and the person who isn't the leader would have 1 of their Digimon. And you can fight side by side in the same fight against enemy Digimon. So you can go through the game with your friends. Unfortunately, at the moment, that's where it extends to limit-wise. There's no real group content for the game at the moment. They just added a party system. It took them a long time to add this, because it was originally basically single player. They only just entered full release recently. And as you can see, I did have some negatives to say about that. And you'll understand why, but we're sticking to the positives at the moment, so we'll keep on that subject. The Digimon details, obviously I'm not going to be the best for showing the details, but because I do have the graphics turned down in response to my PC not being able to handle it at max graphics. The Digimon are quite well done in a lot of cases. You have a lot of detail in them in some cases, and in others, not so much. For example, I don't like how Garudamon looks like he's in a zip suit right here. That's not the greatest. But you can tell it's a Garudamon for the most part. I could turn the graphics up more and show off more. Garurumon looks very nice, as you can see here. However, my boy Leomon, he has PS1 hands, and I'm not joking. Which is a shame, really. The game is kind of like an open world, but at the same time it also isn't. It's separated into separate segments, and as you can see, this here is like a portal. Imagine that like you're traveling to another zone. So it's semi-open world. You can travel around the digital world, run around with your Digimon by your side, but it's separated into segments, and in some cases, you can go into interiors, which is very rare, mind you, but there are interiors in the game that you can go into, and they have a separate map. Now, the sad thing is about Leomon having PS1 hands is, look at this Boncho Leomon, it's not too bad, right? I just find that kind of funny. Now, as you can see, I've gotten many Digimon so far, and this account is, say, about 14 days old. I have another account which I played on for several months. So I've gone through the game twice, essentially. This is a new account, because back then, you had to sign up using a Korean mobile number. Now, the only way you could sign up in the past was you needed a Korean friend who was willing to make you an account, because they have a Korean phone number, which is tied to their ID. Or you had to pay for one through third-party website, and they would basically sell you an account. Now it's been changed to you can sign up without needing to do this. So I made my own account just to save myself the risk of something going wrong in the future. Now the Digimon are pretty decent in terms of graphics. Some of them are better than others, as you can see. If you actually have it max graphics, it's going to look better than what I have, so please bear that in mind. But Garurumon on my graphics level is looking pretty nice, to be fair. Could be better if it was higher graphics. But the Digimon aren't shabby at all. They're pretty decent looking. Some need a little bit more work in certain areas, but they are very nice. This game pays a lot of attention to the type of Digimon you have. It really focuses on the triangle system, which can make your time easier or harder in the digital world. For example, Vaccine is strong against Virus. Virus are the most common type of Digimon you will run into in this game. By far. So having a Vaccine team would be very nice because it saves you a lot of trouble. But if you had something like a Virus Digimon, you'd be inflicting neutral damage, and it's not too bad. But once you get into late game, you kind of need to focus on the triangle perspective because you're going to struggle, unfortunately. If you have data Digimon, your time is going to be even worse in this game, because you're going to be weak to most Digimon, which means you do less damage, you take more damage, and it can really make your time in the digital world very difficult, especially late game. For example, if I was to fight a level 90 vaccine with my level 90 vaccines, there's a chance one of my vaccines will go down, right? If I go up against a level 90 data team, they're definitely going down. If I was to say, for example, use my datas against those vaccine though, I'd have no problem. If I was to go up against datas with datas, one may go down, but at the same time, the fight will also take longer because I'm not getting that advantage. I'm just getting neutral damage. So it does play a big part. And when it comes to getting new Digimon, the way it works is you will go to the Digibaby Island. Through playing through the tutorial, eventually you'll unlock the ability to go to this island where they'll teach you about hatching eggs. And you have to hatch your Digimon. And depending on what egg you have, whether it's a green or a blue egg, will determine how long it takes. There are special eggs which can hatch specific Digimon, of course. Such as this egg is a Doraemon egg. But that's from a cash shop item, and we'll get to that later, don't worry, while I'll talk about the cash shop. You can get Vmon from this tree here, or through trading in currency for one, which is the standard tree on the island. There isn't any cash shop at all. Completely free to play. But you will get an egg, you'll put it inside of one of these baskets. There'll be a timer on the egg, for example this one where it says the 6 and the upside down Y. That's 6 hours. 6 hours, I can hatch the egg. This would hatch a baby Digimon. It would take 3 days to become an in-training Digimon. And then from an in-training, it would become a rookie Digimon. Then I could use it in battle when it's a rookie. So all in all, you'd want a blue egg, preferably, because that means you're getting guaranteed a in-training Digimon, essentially. So you're only spending 3 days waiting to get your new Digimon. On top of that, you also have to play a little bit of daycare. You have to feed them. Every single day, at midnight in Korea, you'll have to feed them 5 food and 3 toys. The toys are what fill this green bar, and they determine Digivolution. When that bar fills up, I can Digivolve that Digimon. The food bar keeps my Digimon alive. If I let this drop to 0 and I don't feed it for a certain amount of time, my Digimon will die. This only affects baby and in-training Digimon, but it's important to note, if you're going to play this game and you're going to hatch a baby Digimon, make sure you're going to be on every day to feed them, or they will die, unfortunately. However, hatching baby Digimon is completely random what you get out of the egg. There's no way to determine what you get out of it, even what it digivolves into. If we was to take a baby Digimon, and let's say we was to do this Punimon right here, as you can see, it's 25% chance for each of these. I cannot determine what this is. I have no way of modifying this or affecting it. Completely random. So when it comes to hoping I get a Digimon I don't have, it's completely RNG, I'm afraid. And yeah. Even what my in-training turns into is RNG as well. So you're going to be spending a lot of time hatching eggs to play the game. Which is going to get infuriating later on, and you'll understand why in my video. When it comes to Digivolution. Now, some Digimon only have like 1 Digivolution line currently, and they're still waiting for more to be added. But there is always a chance of getting a mutant Digimon, which is essentially the same Digimon, so it'd be another Garurumon. It would be stronger, it'd still cost the same amount of VVP as a champion, but it would not be able to reach ultimate form and had to use a demutant item to get it. And unfortunately, unless you're at late game, or you get a coupon code which gives you a free demutation, that can really affect your gameplay. You could have this for the whole entire time you're playing the game, and it can really suck. However, when it comes to other Digimon, they may have multiple paths, as you can see here. So, depending on what Digimon it is, it could have multiple paths, a single path, or maybe you'll have to wait for more content to be released for them to have multiple paths. As you can see, Palmon is a lot. Trying to get a Togemon, there's a guaranteed way to do it, sure. As again, I've done a guide on that. But essentially, this is where I can kind of impact what my Digimon turns into. So when you fight Champion Digimon or Ultimate Digimon, they have a chance of dropping broken Digicores. Now, the broken Digicores will have a portrait of that Digimon that you have fought, and they can increase the chance by 10% for a specific Digivolution. As you can see, this is for Ultimates. There's an Ultimate Digimon, Garbomon, Waymon, and Waspmon. Ultimate Digimon. Sorry, that's kind of Beamon, sorry. These are Champion Digimon. I can increase the chance of Digivolving by 10%, which will lower the chance of me getting the other forms and increase the chance of what form I want. This can be done to essentially try and impact and affect them. You can also get guaranteed Digivolution items, but the only way you're really getting those, you get a limited amount through the story. The majority of the way you're going to get those, unfortunately, is the cash shop, which are these items right here. All in all, your initial experience when it comes to playing this game is probably going to be good. You're probably going to enjoy yourself at first. However, that's about as good as this gets. When you start to reach late game, really big problems begin to ensue, and that's where the game starts to become really bad, and you're going to understand why. I think it's time to talk about the negatives. I know many of my fans have been looking forward to this review, especially if they saw my old one. Now I'm going to show you a prime example of how badly the game devs have really fucked up. Okay, major problem number 1. I have a level 31 Woodmon here who I would very much like to grind up. I would very much like to grind up this Digimon because if I grind up this Digimon, it will allow him to achieve new forms. So, I'm going to come to this level 79 mob, right? So that means I can essentially grind up my Digimon and get it nice and strong, correct? Okay, my Woodmon barely survived that. Could have died. Which would have been pretty horrible if he had, right? That would have meant he got no experience. And I only got 572 experience on a level 30 Digimon. 500 XP. Look at this XP bar. We're going to do this fight again. But this time we're going to change things a little bit. This here is my level 81 Zudomon. He's around the level of these guys, right? Let's see how much experience I could potentially be getting. So as you can see, we won that fight. And for 2 of them, I got 1200 experience. But wait, my Zudomon got 3000. Why? Why is my lower level getting less experience fighting these? Well, they recently made a very bad change to the game. Now, before the way experience worked, mobs had a flat experience rate that they would give. If you went 10 levels above that limit, you would no longer gain any experience. Which basically mean I could use my higher levels to lower my lower level Digimon. You know, the Digimon that I've spent hours upon hours and time, days, potentially weeks if I don't have much time to play the game to get to high level. And I want to take advantage of that I put tons of time and effort into. And spent money on getting stat blocks to make it so they can actually fight and be strong and carry that Digimon. They basically threw that out the window. Now, if you're not within 5 levels of a Digimon, you get diminishing returns. And this would be fine if it was for higher level Digimon, but no, it's for lower level Digimon as well now. So I'm being punished for being further in the game and having high level Digimon. I have to go to lower level grinding spots just to level my low level Digimon when I have perfectly good high levels here that I've spent plenty of time on and could use them to help get this Digimon up. This was never a problem until full release when they changed the system. This is ridiculous. If I was to go from level 1 to 90, the previous level limit was 80, and that could still take me a few days, depending on how much time I had, right? Now it's level 90. Back then, I could use my high level to level that level 1 to 90. And it would still take me a few days, right? Even with them carrying. Depending on how much time I had. If I've got like 7 to 8 hour days, probably take me about 2 or 3 days. Just to level 80, right? Of course, I'd have level 80 Digimon, the max level, would be able to grind them. Now, I would have to go to lower level grinding spots, so I get less experience. I can no longer carry my lower level Digimon. I have to level my high level and my lower level Digimon separately. So I'm separating it into 2 separate piles of grinding. And on top of that, I mess around with something known as EVP, which allows you to turn into a champion, ultimate, or mega form. You need EVP to fight in those forms, and every single fight consumes EVP. Right now, there's an event that cuts EVP in half. Do you know how many fights I can get in with an ultimate Digimon before I run out of EVP? 33 fights. You heard me correctly. 33 fights before I run out of EVP. My Digimon would then revolve into a rookie, which means I would have to sit and get my EVP back. Means I would have to fight Tumon if I wanted to do the AFK approach, or run around after low level mobs and fight them, which gives no benefit to my high level Digimon because they get nothing out of it. They are too high level, they no longer get anything out of it anymore. So that's a waste of time. The mobs that are around my level, these rookies, I can't fight in rookie form with my Zudomon. If it was a Gonmon, he can't fight these, he'd get destroyed. So I have to go and sit at something known as Tumon. It takes about 20 to 30 minutes to get a full EVP bar. That's 20 to 30 minutes of me not even playing the game. That's me stood there, letting some aggressive mob keep running at me and forcing me into a fight. And my rookie's killing it over and over. For 30 minutes, I'm not playing. I'm just sat here, doing nothing. You heard me correctly. I'm not even playing the game, just to be able to play the game. For maybe an hour, if I'm lucky, depending on how hard I go. Before I have to go and sit there for half an hour again. After another 33 fights. That's a massive problem. Right now there's an EVP event that cuts EVP in half, so I could get 70 odd fights in, which isn't as bad. But even with EVP cut in half, that's still an issue, and you'll understand later why in the video. And I apologise, it's a bit of a lengthy one, but there are some serious things I need to talk about that the game devs have done that are really fucking us over recently, ever since the Entered 4 release, and they have essentially ruined the game. Want to know why? Stay tuned. Now we're going to get onto the subject of bits. So bits are very important. They allow you to do several things. Digivolve your Digimon, roll stats on your Digimon, use them to increase your skill levels so they do more damage. They have a very big impact on your Digimon and the time you spend in this game. They purchase restoration items for your HP and SP. And at the same time you have to manage the EVP bar. If I actually go to one of the shops right now, which I'm going to do. Okay, now that we're here at a shop, this is the best food item available. 750. If I want to buy a max stack of these, it's 225k. If I want to get the SP equivalent, that's again 225k. That's 450k bits just to replenish my food. My Digimon can get in 33 fights before it runs out of EVP. Let's go and fight the highest level mob I can and see how much money we make. Okay, so these mobs are level 90, the highest level mob currently in the game at the point of me recording this video, right? There's no Digimon that's higher level than 90, unless probably a Rift creature. But in terms of wild Digimon, this is the highest level I can go up against. And we're going to take these on real quick. As you can see, my Digimon are taking quite a bit of damage despite being vaccine and strong against virus, which is an important thing with this game. You've really got to take into consideration your types, because they play a big part. As you can see, these are virus Digimon, vaccine and strong against virus. I do more damage against them and take less damage from them. And they are still messing me up quite a bit. So we take them down. And I currently have bonus money turned on right now. I got 2,100 bits. So, 2,100 bits. It's random how many bits you can get. It can jump to about 3,000 or something. It can go low to like 500. It bounces about. With that much range. If we were to say 33 fights, that's 90k. Okay, so 90k. Now, I am using cheaper items because the food that is cheaper, I heal more for spending less bits. And even with that, I've literally just spent about 5k restoring my Digimon. I am not joking. The amount of materials I just used, I spent about 3 to 5k just healing my Digimon. That's with the cheapest food item available, which would heal more for less bits altogether. And I just spent the majority of those bits I just earned. So making a profit on bits is incredibly hard. The only way I make any kind of profit is through getting these. But I have to be within 5 levels of a Digimon just to get these to drop. And each Digimon has different USBs it can drop. By me having to go to lower level Digimon to train against them, to level my low level Digis, I'm missing out on all these bits I could be making. I'm barely making any profits at all. Before, I could grind my low levels at high level places, which would allow me to still make some money. I wouldn't make much, because most of it's spent on bloody food, but I would still make a little bit of money. Now that's completely out the window. Now I'm being nerfed and punished for having a high level Digimon and trying to level my lower level. If I level against lower level mobs, I get less bits. And I get weaker USBs, which are worth much less money. And I barely make any money at all. So I'm being screwed 2 ways from Sunday. I'm being spit roasted from both ends on that one. Meanwhile, I've got to play around with chance, hoping for good stat blocks for every single one of my Digimon. Because when it comes to Mega Digimon, and here's the kicker. When it comes to Mega Digimon, you need certain stat requirements. Your Digimon being max level will not reach the stat requirements. You have to gamble around with chance to get your Mega Digivolution. I know, it gets worse. It gets even worse, ladies and gentlemen. I then, if we go to crafting, I also need one of these items, which costs 25k bits to craft, with a 10% crafting chance. And the ingredients, these 0 units right here, take over a week to get. I have to spend a week giving items, not just any old items, good items, my eggs, which allow me to get new Digimon and use them. I have to give those away for currency to trade for these 0 units, and spend 25k after spending over a week to 2 weeks, just to get one of each of these, to roll in a 10% freaking chance, spend 25k for a chance at a Mega, and the Mega isn't even guaranteed. Even if I get that 10% lucky chance on that Evolutor, I'm still playing around with a 5% chance of getting a Mutant, and this happened to me on stream. This happened to me on stream. Half an hour I was messing around with these stat blocks. I went through hundreds of thousands of bits trying to get the stat blocks in order to get this thing into a Metal Garurumon. And I got screwed over for that chance and got a Mutant on top of it all. After going through hundreds of thousands of RNG trying to reach a stat requirement to get my Mega, I then got screwed over on the 5% chance of that, using a 10% crafting item. Bits are so hard to get in this game and make profit of any kind. It's ridiculous. It's not like DMO, where everybody's selling stuff and you can get stuff in game and advertise it and sell it and everyone's going to buy it. We don't really have that economy system here. Do you know why they're doing that? Because they're pushing the cash shop. Yes, the cash shop, ladies and gentlemen. The bane of all games, especially Korean games. They love their cash shops. And oh boy, do they love to screw you over here. 2,000 crowns for an Evolute. It's about £6. You're spending about £6 or $6 for a single Evoluter, right? Not even guaranteed to get your Mega Digimon out of it. Still chance-based, right? Oh, you can also buy the 0 units for the 10% chance to craft them as well. That's also a thing as well, yeah? Then, on top of that, through Digivolution Pass, you have to hope you even get the correct line. Let's take my friend Palmon, for example. So say I really want a Palmon and I really want a Rosemon, right? And I really want this Digimon. I've had to hope I don't get one of these. I've had to hope I get Togemon. And then from Togemon, I've had to hope I get Lilymon. And all these had the mutant chance along the way and other chances to turn into things. Just for it to get Rosemon, I'm going to have to roll around with stats. Hope I get lucky. Spend 2 weeks hoping for a single Evoluter item to get a Mega Digimon. And I still have a 5% chance of getting the mutant on top of that. And a person was in my stream the other day, guys. And he rolled for that Evoluter 30 times. 30 times and failed to get a single Evoluter. The reason why I bring that up, because I would need to put this into perspective to you all. If it takes over a week to get the currency to craft a single Evoluter, and there's only a 10% chance, and he got unlucky and he spent 30 ingredients, one of each 0 unit, that's a ridiculous amount of time, ladies and gentlemen. If that was 2 weeks, that's 420 days of materials. That's over a year's worth of materials, hoping for a 10% chance on that Evoluter. Over a year. For a Mega Digimon, we're not even at Jogrush yet. We're not even at freaking X Digimon yet. This is just Megas. They've just come out. I'm already being shafted. Even if I was to say he managed to get all these ingredients in a week, that's still 210 days worth of materials. Do you want to wait half a year playing around with all this chance just for the chance of maybe getting a Mega Digimon? No, I don't think so. Me neither. It is fucking bullshit. I was so happy playing through this game. I loved this game. If you watched my last review, I was praising this game, saying how good it was. They're not screwing us over. There's a little bit of pay to win, sure, if you're into PvP, because they sell things like that, you know. But the Evolutors weren't a thing back then. The only thing they were really selling that would really affect your time and take you longer was, you know, you could get the 0 units which you could roll stats on your Digimon. If you get a Digimon with no base stats, right, just a standard base hatch, he has no stats attached to him, you could get certain stats through Elecmon and roll for stats using these 0 units. They would be used to roll bonus stats on your Digimon. Then on top of that, you now need these to also craft an Evoluter. So make your choice. Do you want to make your base Digimon stronger? Or do you want to craft an Evoluter? If you want to get into PvP, you're going to have to spend money to do it now. You never had to do that before full release. You weren't being fucking slapped in the face with a big dick down your throat, going, oh, you suck it and give me my money. By the devs, you weren't having that issue. That was not happening to you. There are guaranteed Digivolution items in games to guaranteed Digivolution path, right? This was always a thing. But you could kill Digimon and get Digicores, which would allow you to increase the chance of turning into said Digimon. That only goes up to 10%, but you could eventually obtain every Digimon through enough trial and error, right? That's fair enough. You can spend on the cash shop, but you wasn't forced to spend on the cash shop. Now you pretty much are. You have to go through the chance of messing around, and we're not even gotten to Egg Digimon yet. So, I hatch a green egg, which is the standard egg that most of the time you're going to get. And that'll hatch a little baby Digimon. And in this case, this is 50% each on this, right? If I take a different baby Digimon, I have to play around with this chance. 25% here, 25% there, 25% there, 25% there. So if I'm after a very specific Digimon, such as, I don't know, Gabumon, I have to hope I get lucky with 25% chance. But I'm not even done there, right? Let's say I got lucky and hit that 25% chance. There's no way to change what gets out of your egg, by the way. Your egg is completely random. You can't buy an item from the cash shop to fix it. Completely random. Let's say I got lucky and I managed to get my hands on that Tsunamon, right? Where are you, my friend? There you are. Then got to play around with all this chance. Yep. Oh, now I've got to play around with more mutant chance, and there's a chance I could get this. And if you know anything about my content, when it came to Birdramon, despite Birdramon used to having an 85% chance in the past and a 10% chance of getting Kokotorimon, I got Kokotorimon 5 times in a row at a 10% chance. On 5 different characters. I got screwed over. And all this time I've been playing around with Mutant, and then I have to mess around with rolling stat blocks, still got a Mutant chance, and I have to roll for a 10% flipping item just to obtain a Mega. And it'll take me 1 to 2 weeks just to get the materials to craft the item to turn into a Mega. And I've still got to play with the Mutant chance even with the item. At least with the guaranteed Digivolution items I could buy from the shop, I didn't have to play around with Mutant chance. I could guarantee I definitely had my Digimon. It hurts. I know you've kind of heard me rant a little bit here. But this comes from a place of love. They have a great game here. And they were doing great with this game. It was a very fun game. And they were doing it right. Sure, there wasn't that much content, but it was in beta still. It's understandable I'm not going to have everything. But they entered for release, right? And then started to shaft us over. Now the experience rate for Digimon has to be within 5 levels to get the maximum amount. Trying to use your higher levels to train your lower levels, you now get punished for. Leveling at lower level spots to level my lower level Digimon is now punishing me even more because I get less bits. And I barely make any money anyway. I'm pretty much always losing money. I'm not making any, except from a tiny itty bitty profit. And that's why I'm messing around with EVP. 33 fights at Ultimate. Now for a Mega, you're talking about 20 fights. Before you run out of EVP. 20 fights. Do you know what happens when you run out of EVP? I'm gonna tell you, ladies and gentlemen. For this, we need to go to the village of beginning. The place where you're gonna start the game. Right? The place where you start the game. The only place you can buy these items, mind you. But important nonetheless. So. This is an EVP chip. If I wanted to get all 3 of these from 0 EVP to full, it'd cost me 135k bits. Then we add on the fact that I'm paying 450k on food. I'm probably going to go through that food. While losing money. At 435k, I'm going to lose money. At 33 fights, I'm not making enough money to cover the EVP chips. Not even close to making enough money to cover the EVP chips. Let alone the food on top of that, right? I would then have to go to a Tumon spot. If I didn't want to do that. If I didn't want to buy the EVP chip and lose even more money than the amount I'm barely even making. Like, even with just the food alone, I barely make any profit. You add the EVP chips into the equation, I'm losing money massively. Right? I would then have to come here after 33 fights. And I would have to go AFK for 30 minutes, not playing the game. while these red enemy Digimon run at me repeatedly because they are aggressive enemies. For half an hour, I'm stuck not even being able to play the game because I need to Digivolve to handle the higher level Digimon. I couldn't go up to those level 79 Monmon with my rookie Digimon. Even at level 90, they get slaughtered. I have to be Digivolved, otherwise they will kill me. I need to be Digivolved. I have to come here for half an hour. So after playing for about 20 minutes, I have to come here, sit here for half an hour, not even playing the game, just to play the game. I come home from a long day's hard work, right? And I'm like, I want to stick on Digimon for a bit. You know, I want to play some Digimon Super Rumble, you know? I'm really feeling Digimon Super Rumble tonight. I really want to play this game. And I'll come here to Lee's Digimon for half an hour to get EVP back. Just so I can play the game. And 20 odd minutes later, I'm back here for half an hour. Just to play the game. Let's say I have an hour to game. There's no point in me even turning the game on. There's no point in me even playing at this point. Like, what am I here for? To sit here at Digimon and do nothing? That's not gameplay. I'm not having fun. When you start off the game, it is incredibly fun. Because when you have your rookies, you're not worrying about EVP. You'll get EVP back while you fight in rookie form, right? And, you know, my EVP will go up. So I don't have to worry about it. Don't have to worry. Then I enter champion form. And it's not bad because a champion, I lose 1% EVP per fight. I get in 99 fights. Which will take me about an hour or two. Maybe 3. Depending on how hard I'm really going. Or what I'm fighting against. Before having to come here for 20-30 minutes. And while that still sucks I have to come here for 20-30 minutes, I'm getting a lot more gameplay out of it. However, when I'm getting Ultimate Digimon, I then get 33-34 fights out of the game. Before I have to come here for half an hour. I'm playing the game for maybe 20 to 40 minutes. And then I've got to sit here for half an hour and get EVP back. Now let's say I play for 6 hours. At least 2 of those are me sat here not even playing the game. I'm stood here staring at my screen, watching Digimon run at me repeatedly. That is not a game. That's not fun. It breaks your immersion every single time. It starts to ruin the game. It's not so bad when you first start playing the game. That Digimon thing won't really bother you that much. 99 fights is plenty of fights. You'll get lots of time where you're actually playing the game and having fun in. And then maybe that 20-30 minute break is you getting some food. Maybe, I don't know, watching a bit of YouTube in the meantime while the Digimon run at you. And then coming back, you know. Played for a few hours, you take a little break from the game. Most players don't want to do this, but you have the option to do so. You can do that, you know. Fair enough. But the second ultimates come involved, you spend so much time at least Digimon, you're going to get sick of them. You're going to get so sick of these Digimon because they are literally where everybody goes to. Have you seen the amount of people that are stood here not even playing the game? They're just stood there. They're not playing. This is one Digimon spot. There are multiple around the map. Before they added multiple around the map recently, it was worse. There'd be way more people here. Your game, if you didn't have a good PC, would be lagging to high hell because everybody stood here AFK at frickin' Digimon. Because he needs to get EVP back just to play the game. Now people are doing it because they need to get affinity, because certain Digimon need affinity to reach Mega Digivolution as well. Such as Seraphimon and Aphonimon. Another thing I want to bring up on that point. Another thing we need to talk about is affinity gain. Now, affinity is your bond to your Digimon. Seraphimon and Aphonimon require this. And 10 fights is 0.01% affinity. You heard me right. 10 fights is 0.01%. 1,000 fights you must go through to gain 1% affinity. 1,000. Meanwhile, having to balance EVP at 33 fights each with the ultimates. Yeah? Do you understand now how ridiculous this is? 33 fights. I need 1,000 to get bloody 1%. I need 14% if I want Ophanimon or Magnadramon. 7% for Seraphimon. So what does that mean? People aren't even playing the game right now. People are just leaving their game on for several days with them just so they're not even able to fucking play. To get Affinity, just to reach Mega Digivolution. For those Digimon. So, whether they're here for EVP or not, they are still stood there at the freaking Tumon, because it's the only place they can get Affinity without having to put any effort in. Because that would mean 14,000 fights to get Ophanimon. 14,000 individual fights. Not Digimon killed, fights. Now, let's say I'm not here at Tumon, which I can one-shot and make this really quick. Let's say I'm fighting Digimon around my levels, such as with the level 30s, right? That fight could take anywhere from 1 to 3 minutes. Do you see the problem? In terms of endgame content, there really isn't any. For a full release game, this game is severely lacking in endgame content. We have a party system, you can party up with your friends, right? And the way it works is, as you can see, I have a 3-man team here. If I was to do co-op, if there was only 2 of us, one of us would have 2 of our Digimon out that would get experience. The other person would only have 1 of theirs out. So you can play with your friend and grind with them. If you had 3 people, you'd use 1 Digimon each in this slot. So, but there's no group content to do other than kill Digimon. That's it, just kill them. There's not really any group content. I mean, you can do rifts, I guess. I don't know if you even can do rifts in co-op. The other thing is dungeons. And you get a key to enter a dungeon every single day. You get 1 per day. Right? 1 key per day to enter 1 dungeon per day. They're only available on certain days of the week. So you may get the key and not even be able to use it on that day. You have to wait till the day comes around for you to use it. And there's a lot of stages, sure. But there's only 30. If I've gone for 30 days, get a key for 30 days, I can knock these out in 1 whole day, I guess. Get through 30 of these, done. That's not much. I could maybe use a rift item to spawn a digital rift, which will spawn like a boss Digimon for me to fight. They're incredibly low drop chance, and if I'm higher level than them, the drop rate is even lower for them to even give me a good reward. So I have to make sure I stay within their level limit. And on top of that, I can only do that so many times when there's 2 per map. 2 bosses per map. I can only do that a certain amount of times before I get bored. That's the endgame content, ladies and gentlemen. Or you can hatch new Digimon at the Digibaby Island. The green egg takes 3 days to turn into a in-training Digimon. From an in-training Digimon to a rookie Digimon is another 3 days. And it's completely random what you get. Unless you get a specific Digi-Egg like my Doraemon egg here, which guarantees hatches a Doraemon. The egg is completely random. You can get a blue egg, which is an in-training Digimon, which will only take you 3 days to get a rookie. If you get a green, you take you 6 days to get a rookie. Then on top of that, because now they've fucked you on the experience rate, and made it so that you have to be within 5 levels to get the maximum amount of experience. You can't use your higher levels to grind them up anymore. You had to spend multiple days just to get the Digimon. Then you had to spend multiple days just to grind to max level that Digimon. When you have perfectly capable high level Digimon to get that Digimon there faster. So let's say I had a green egg. 6 days I've had to wait just to be able to use it. Then it's going to take me like 3 or 4 days, and that's with me having plenty of time to play the game. I could play this game for like 6 or 7 hours a day. Maybe longer if I want to. Most people have jobs. They've got work to do. Children to take care of. They get out for maybe 2 or 3 hours. It's going to take them weeks to get to max level. Now that they've basically made it so you can't use your high levels to grind them up anymore, even longer. It'll take me multiple days to get to max level, with my 7 to 8 hours to play, while I've got a 50% EVP event going on right now. If I didn't have the 50% EVP event going on right now, it would not take me that many days. It'd take me even longer, because I have to go and sit at the frickin' Digimon over and over just to get EVP, just to play the frickin' game to grind again. So not only is grinding incredibly boring having to farm experience, I now have to nerf the XP spots I go to get the experience, and then I have to sit there for half an hour at frickin' Digimon to get the to fight just to gain the experience. It's a pile on top of a pile on top of a pile of shit. I understand you've heard me rant a lot, but it comes from a place of love. This game is a great game. I like this game. I did love this game. If you go and watch my old review right now, listen to it. I'm talking this game up. I'm saying about how good it is, how much I'm enjoying it. Despite the shortcomings of the randomness at times, it was a very good game. But the game devs at full release, even though they shouldn't have even entered full release, this is not full release. There's no end game content to do, except grind Digimon unless you want to do dungeons and rifts, and you can't even do that anymore fast, because they've reduced that. It comes from a place of love. I want to see this game succeed. I don't want to see it become another DMO. If anybody knows about Digimon Masters Online, they started off well, and then they went heavily microtransaction, loot bots, gambling, to absurd degrees, where you had to be a whale to play the game, essentially. Or you just can't play the game. They are killing their game, and I love this game. I've built my channel upon this game. I've recommended this game to people in my old review, talking about how good the game is. Yes, this is a game you should probably pick up, I said. It's a great game. It does all these things right. And within one story content patch, they've ruined it. They've dicked everybody over. All those people I said this game was good, that I've made guides on this game, helping people understand it, who didn't want to wait years for it. I've brought them into this game, and they're just getting frustrated now. Along with me, who's played this for several months, and this being a good game at the time, other than the EVP issue, it was a good game. And I put months of time into this game. This is my second character, by the way. The other character I played for months. This is a new character I did on full release. Do you know how long it took me to get to the end game content? I'm not available on Fridays and Saturdays, but I basically got to the end of the game within 7 days. 7 days it took me to rush through this game with 50% EVP event. Let's say the 50% EVP event wasn't here, where EVP is cut in half. It took me about 2 weeks to get through this game. And then what am I greeted with at the end game? A dungeon a day. Rifts, potentially, if I manage to get one to drop. And hatching Digimon to level the Digimon. And even that's been slowed down and nerfed to oblivion. All because they want to push the cash shopper. You know why they made it so ridiculous with the affinity? Because you guessed it, ladies and gentlemen, another cash shop pattern. This will double the affinity you get. Instead, you get 0.002% now, instead of 0.001. 0.002%. So, you know, this item that lasts you for a full day and cuts the amount of fights you have to do in half, essentially, is assuming you have one active at all times, just to reach the affinity point to get a mega, and that's 1,280 crowns. So £3 to cut that time in half. Or $3, if you will. They had a great game, and they've ruined it. These silly, stupid changes they've made have ruined the game for many people, such as myself and others, especially those that were loving this game. They subscribe to my channel, where I praise this game. I made guides on this game to help everybody. And I told everybody on my channel that this was a good game. Pick it up. I reckon you'll really enjoy this game. got a lot to offer. And instead, several months pass and they've broken the game already, ruined it for pretty much everybody. Chasing the cash shop to try and force you to spend money. I didn't mind spending money before because it didn't feel like they were shoving their hand in my pocket and pulling it out my pocket. I had the option to spend, so I wanted to support the game. Now they are blatantly just shoving cash shop things in my face and saying, you want to get past this ridiculous thing? We're creating a problem, we're selling you a solution. Give me your money or deal with the problem we've now created. So do I recommend this game to people anymore? No. I don't recommend this game. Until the game devs fix the game and change things and stop being greedy and actually care about their players and stop ruining all the good things about it, when there's not really a list of them as it is, because there's not much content for the game, I do not recommend you to play this game. I don't think you're going to enjoy yourself. You might enjoy yourself for a little bit, sure. But when you reach endgame and you only get 2 evolutors for doing the story quest, and you have to gamble on it 10%, I guarantee you your fun in this game is going to die real quick. When you've gone through the game and spent multiple days working hard, put your time and effort to get these high levels up, and you want to go and grind your low level up to level 90, and you realize you can't do that quickly, and you have to do the slow route the same way you leveled these up, after all your hard work and time and money and bits you farmed to make this even possible to get the mega, I guarantee you your fun is going to end real quick. When this event ends for the 50% EVP reduction, and you have to keep going back to Digimon every 33 fights in Ultimate form, this game is going to start getting irritating real quick. I can't recommend this game to you anymore. And that's sad to say. Because it was only several months ago I was saying how good this game was. And the game devs just completely 180'd it. They ruined it. So until I see some changes, this review will stay as the main focus point in my channel. This will be on my home screen, and I will keep this here till they make those changes, because this is not okay. This is infuriating and kick in the face to all those players who've supported this game and held on till now. There is nothing to do in this game. Dungeon rifts, grind Digimon. Let's make the grind even worse and slower for everybody. Let them not be able to use their Digimon they've already grinded to make it faster for them. Let's just completely fuck our player base over. That's basically what the game devs have done. Now I can't even do the only thing there is to do in the game consistently, which is grind Digimon, without having to spend so much extra time and put so much more effort in just to do it. It's ridiculous. And with that, that's the end of my review. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day. Peace.